problem with the defense. The defense held, I get it, they scored 32 points. They held Cincinnati, a good offense with Joe Burrow, they 4 times in the red zone in the first half held them to field goals. Like, the defense was doing its job. And because it was getting no help from the offense, they eventually just gave up the ghost. I mean, that's not, you don't want that. But you can only hold a good offense down so much if you are getting no support from your offense.
You were requesting that. You said you were okay with that.
Yeah, I was. Past tense. I don't know what's going. This is the worst stretch in Lamar Jackson's career. And we know his rookie year, he came into the league and wasn't a great passer and all that. Yeah, I mean, in his last 4 games, he's got 1 touchdown and 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 picks. The natural thing to think is there's some type of injury, his legs, he can't do what he's normally done. But he doesn't look, he's not playing with the same confidence, with the same swagger. But right now, I say Lamar and the coaching right now are the problem. And Lamar in that, obviously, he's not playing well at all. He's playing bad. The coaching, Derrick Henry against a team with a bad rush defense, runs for 30-yard touchdown one of the first series of the game. And then he gets 2 touches, 2 carries the rest of the first half. All right, so I just think he had 10 carries, 60 yards. That's 6 yards a pop. They have, you guys know I've talked about this, when they've been clicking, they haven't seemed to get a great handle on when to use Lamar, when to use Henry, and it's just really biting them right now. But it's not looking good. Look, thank God for the AFC North, because they got a shot to win the division. But in a wide-open AFC, even if the Chiefs are out, a wide-open AFC, they don't look capable of doing any damage at all in the play. Now, I think Lamar can turn it around, but right now they are looking terrible.
Well, it's all about Lamar Jackson. Like you alluded to the numbers, I have some of the numbers. I didn't go the last 4 games, but I did the last 3 games. And when you look at it, it's alarming because early in the year we were talking about a guy that did not turn the ball over and throw interceptions. He's not throwing touchdowns. He's not accurate right now. Completion percentage is plummeted. Like the last 3 games, I'm just going to look at the Ravens through the lens of Lamar Jackson. If he's on the field, the likelihood of this team being good, we thought, was higher. With him playing the way that he's playing right now and them not giving Derrick Henry the ball, like it's an issue because Lamar Jackson is going in the wrong direction. And I think Todd Monken is torn. Like we can blame it on Todd Monken and the coordinator if we want. This is Lamar Jackson. This is all Lamar Jackson. I just would like Todd Monken to recognize, because I feel like they are so high on Lamar, and as am I, but when a guy is in a slump, you got to do something to get him out. And I think they're trying to throw the ball to get him out and eliminating Derrick Henry altogether in their run game, and it should be the opposite right now. Especially their defense is giving you something to hang your hat on. I'm not as bullish on their defense. But this is a Lamar Jackson issue. When they were having success as an offense, it was largely because of Lamar Jackson.
And after practice, they were able to play Papa Shot. Blow off some steam.
They're failing.
They haven't been the same.
Lamar Jackson.
Well, yeah, and to your point, Greg, it's 4 straight games with less than a 90 passer rating, 3 straight less than 80, 3 straight with no touchdown. Neither of those have ever happened at any point of his career. So he's in his worst stretch of football of his career as a starter. And even honestly, that dates back to his rookie year. He didn't have 4 straight games.
He wasn't this. But remember, they went on a win streak.
They went on a win streak, and he was so dynamic with his legs that it was okay. He wasn't great passing at the time. Now, I was surprised when early in the game he broke, not even like a crazy long run, but I was like, oh, wow, that's something. And the fact that I was surprised by it is jarring. So I do think, you guys know I have thought the last couple of years the roster is a touch overrated by folks in the media. So I'm not going to act like the GM has no accountability. And I just said Lamar's playing the worst football of his life, so he has accountability. But to Wild's point, The roster's the roster, and Lamar's obviously the Ravens' hope is their quarterback for the next 10 years, God willing. Which leads us to this. John Harbaugh should be coaching for his job the rest of the year.
I agree.
Wow.
I actually felt that way for this whole season.
And to where, like, obviously, if they miss the playoffs, I think that, and you can say, well, do I feel the same way about Andy because they missed the playoffs? The answer is no, because there's such a different track record.
That's such a dumb comparison. No one thinks that about Andy Reid. What do you know? But no one's even asking you that question. So I don't even know what you're talking about. Obviously, Harbaugh should be on the hot seat. He should be on the hot seat. He should have been on the hot seat 23, 24, 25. Like, yeah, absolutely. Especially after 23 when it was absolute coaching malpractice. Yes, 10,000%. Yeah, you know, I'm going to rewatch this game. I watched this game at night, late night after Thanksgiving, took my notes, made videos and whatnot, and I do want to rewatch this game. And I really do want to just zoom in on Lamar more than anything because obviously everyone's like, hey, let's beat up on Lamar right now. And he does deserve something because he has not been good. But it is a weird situation because, and I've said this because Greg is saying they don't quite know what I think Greg or Brew or both of them said. Yeah, they don't know quite what to do with Derrick Henry, and I said that from the jump since last year. I said they do such a bad job of feeding off each other in a way that keeps defenses on their toes that makes you, you know, a little confused. And this is what the Philadelphia Eagles did so well last year with Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. With Kel Moore, you know, the three of them, you know, really running those RPOSs in a way where you were just really like, I don't know what to expect in this moment. And don't get me wrong, there was plenty of times when it was just like, we're going to run the ball, you know, we're going to run the ball and, you know, you just good luck trying to stop us. But there was still a lot of moments that were set up throughout the course of the game that really set up then some of these big, devastating plays, and you just never really were able to see that with Derrick Henry and Lamar. And it was really just like Derrick Henry's just a beast. He's a physical runner, and he's just going to break through, and, you know, best of luck trying to stop him. But even in a game like this, and I forget, you'll have to forgive me, which order I think likely fumbled first. And then Flowers really ended up fumbling really kind of late in the game at that point, where I'm not so sure it mattered as much. Yeah, I mean, clear as throat, I guess. If they score there, the score is 29-21. You know, I guess it's all possible. The clock's winding down. You got under 4 minutes to go. It's all possible, obviously. But you still had to really go the length of the field, you know. But I mean, the interceptions, the turnovers there, the Z fumble, it's like, that's so crushing that when you have a few of these, let's just call them mishaps, this team is not good enough to overcome that. This team is not good enough to overcome an interception. This team is not good enough to overcome an unfortunate fumble or, you know, especially a fumble in the back of the end zone. Like they don't have the resilience right now that when you're going to start to have that, when you're going to have a game that Lamar has multiple turnovers, everyone else got to be perfect. And if you're not going to have an Isaiah likely fumble, because that's what I look at it more, that I'll just throw Jose off to the side. Again, it's obviously didn't help them by any stretch of the imagination, but like, have the Ravens really given us a sense that they were going to go march down that field, score, play defense, stop them, and then march back down the field and score another touchdown, you know? I mean, like, we considered that was possible, and it is technically possible, but, you know, not necessarily going to say that. And then again, right, the whole thing with Derrick Henry, and this is where it isn't, because you see it's 32-14. But when you look at just even the flow of the game, 3-0, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, you know, 67, 67, 67, 97, 97, 127, 127. This game is all still within the bounds, right? Third quarter, 12-7, even 19-7. Like, this isn't, you know, there's this confusion about how, like, oh, if you're down by a touchdown, they can't run the ball anymore. It's like, says no one ever. And that's 19-14, right? Like, you're all still right there. So it is just interesting. I mean, it really is. They really do struggle to get to any type of flow in this offense right now. And I know people want to blame the O-line, and, you know, the O-line hasn't been amazing, but in this game specifically, you know, again, when Lamar Jackson Lamar, there was a couple moments that Lamar Jackson absolutely just got blown up, and it was like, what do you want to do in that situation? Totally understandable. But that's not necessarily why he was 17 for 32, 246 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and the 2 fumbles, right? You're not just like, well, he had no dime. He was under duress the whole time. What do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? And it's like, and they couldn't run the ball, and it's like, well, they could run the ball. There were successful runs there, right? There were plenty of moments when he had time to, wheel and deal what needs to be done. And they just consistently failed to execute, and then they literally could not take care of the ball. And you're not going to win games when you have 5 turnovers. When you have 5 turnovers, I mean, I'd love to know the stats. How many times you can turn the ball over 5 times? And this is what Brew was saying. I think I talked about this in my post-game clip. Like, they got to the end, to the red zone 6 times. Granted, again, 5 turnovers. So that's why, but they did hold them 1-6. And this shows you the benefit of kicking field goals. This is a perfect example of why it's okay to kick field goals here. But I mean, still 8 for 19 on 3rd down, 3 for 10 for Baltimore. It's just, I don't know, things are just off right now, and it's coaching feels off, the players feel off. Everything feels off right now, and I don't think Lamar Jackson's health in this specific moment. I think I kind of felt that way a little bit earlier, and I just think it just doesn't feel right. But he didn't feel right in the beginning of the season to me, honestly. I made the joke that it's like a controller that was disconnected. Or you drop the controller and the joystick's just moving all over the place. I'm just like, it just doesn't feel right. He doesn't feel sure of himself. Everything just feels disconnected right now. But I am confident enough though in saying that although I felt to some degree some of the injuries were some of the problem, and then now at this immediate moment in time, it's kind of twofold. In isolation, I don't think the injuries are what's causing them to struggle. But I do think potentially that the injuries are stopping Lamar from being able to be a little bit more Superman than he would want. In a game where he's just like, I'll do it myself. He just seemingly does not have that ability right now for whatever reason it is, right? Injuries, however you want to define it, it just doesn't seem to happen right now. And so everything just feels disconnected. And in any of these moments when you're just like, all right, Lamar, we need you to kind of bail us out. It's just not happening. And then you just get further and further and further. And when you're now going to say hey, our big running back Derrick Henry, we're only going to give him the ball 10 times for some reason. Isaiah, likely you're going to fumble. Oh, hey, Z, you're going to fumble. Z, 7 targets, 2 catches, right? Devastating. That's going to hurt you big time. The fumble's going to crush you. So it was a really bad game. There's no sugarcoating that. It was a really bad game and a shocking game. If you said this is how this game was going to unfold, I'd be like, yo, okay, whatever. It's just, that's why I want to watch this game again, because it was jarring. It was jarring to see this game. You're seeing this Ravens team play and Lamar play in a way that you didn't think was actually quite possible, right? You'd say, if you knew that this is how this game unfolded, you would say, was Lamar sick? Did he have food poisoning or something? Did he break both his ankles and he's out there on cast? What's actually happening right now? It's just weird. And yeah, I don't want to just say Lamar has to be better. And it's yeah, that's true too. But it's just I don't know. Just all feels like a mess right now. It really does. And I don't have a strong reason why that is. Huntley felt more comfortable against the Chicago Bears, who are the #1 team in the NFL right now, right? They're the #1 seed. So it's just weird stuff right now. Really weird. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens? Do you think he's the biggest reason why the Ravens are failing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.